everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shawn with Manly Made Minute, and I'm happy to have you here. Today we are going to make a card, and this card today is a combination of several techniques that I'm just kind of hooked on at the moment and things that I like to do, and so I'm going to combine them into one card. I got thinking of how I can do some of my favorites into one card. So we're going to do some layering stamps that I'm just hooked on at the moment. I'm just fascinated by the effect that we get from them with the florals. I'm bringing out some designer series paper. I'm a little disappointed I don't get it out enough, so I thought this is a chance to get out that designer series paper. I recently did a card where it turned out great with some DSP, and I'm like, I gotta get this out more, so we're getting that out more. I'm going to do a cover plate die cut. I just love these. I love the effect of these, and I'm going to throw that DSP underneath it. So before I go down to that down camera, if you are new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the little bell to get notified the next time I upload a video. If you're not new here and you keep coming back and you like my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and get notified next time I upload my video. So thank you all for being here. Let's just take a look at what I have going on for this card, and we'll get started. So this is my designer series paper. This is from the, it's a mint julep from the color book. Great paper in here. I got this whoops, it's actually not this exact paper, it was this one. It's the same pattern on it. Let me get it out here. I just passed it. It is the same floral pattern. It was this one. I cut this up into the size to go underneath my cover plate, and so I cut the whole sheet up because I'm going to make a pack of these. I've got a thank you card or a thank you gift I'm going to send out, and I'm going to use these card packs. So you can see I cut it up so that I got different variations of that pattern for florals to pop up from my cover plate. So that is, and for today's card we're going to use the full one. Okay, so that was my DSP. Then I'm just going to be very honest. I'm using some generic brand layering stamps and a generic brand die cut. However, some of the florals I'm going to add are from the Close to My Heart old stamp sets that I bought when I first started making cards. I bought them off of a lady on Facebook Market whose mother passed and she was selling all of her stuff. So these are quite old, but they're still usable. And I thought this is a chance for me to get out some old stuff that I don't get out very much anymore because I'm buying into more new stuff, and I honestly I really try to support the small businesses. This I bought when I first started stamping. I bought these types of things when I very first started stamping, and I just wasn't sure where to look, what to do, and I started buying online. So I am going to use these just because I'm trying to get out some old stuff I don't use very often, and they kind of fit with what I wanted to do today. So, all right. Let's get started, and here's what I have pre-done for some of my pre-work. I've cut my panels out. I have laid out my layering stamp. So on this particular layering stamp, as many others, you have the solid. Then you've got the layers that go on top of that to create the dimension and the leaves and the depth and the shadowing. And so what I have done to make this easy, because I've already pre-done some panels, so I didn't have to redo my layout here for my other cards because I'm doing multiples of this. So if you're doing multiples, I laid out my solids first, I stamped them, then I turned this over like so, alright, turn this over like so, and then down here I lined up, once I had these stamped over here, I lined these up on top of it, picked them up, and so now I can just keep doing this turn thing, right? So I'm going to stamp the top with my colors, then I'm going to turn it, and then I'll stamp the top and stamp the bottom so I can get some multiples going at one time. Just a little tip on kind of doing multiples and if you're making mass production of cards. So we're going to stamp that out. Now I've picked out my colors for my lights and my darks already. So my lights are on top, and then my dimension of my leaves and my shadows and things are on the bottom. I like to line them up this way so I can just keep it all organized. I'm using Catherine Pooler's inks today. So I've got Catherine Pooler Tiara, Tutti Frutti, It's a Girl in Party Dress, Serenade and Flirty Fuchsia, Fiesta Blue, and Dress Blue. Or, yeah, Dress Blues. Alright, so I'm going to start with my stamps and do this. We'll do the double here so you can kind of see how that works. So I'll do 1 page full. These I have the die cuts for right here that came in with the pack of the stamps. And we'll die cut those out, and then we'll go on to the panels and show you what I want to do there. Alright, so I want some yellow to pop because of the colors on here, and I want a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to do one big, kind of one medium size, and that's how I've laid these out, so it was easier to stamp. Okay, then I'm going to do, I want a pink because I like pink and the yellow, so I'm going to do a larger pink, so that's kind of my primary, again, matching my DSP over here. A little bit of purple, since there wasn't purple in there, but I thought purple would go well, like a lighter purple would go well with this. I'm going to do the lighter purple and then blues. I wanted a little blue in there, so I just added a little blue because I just wanted a good couple extra colors. Alright? And I know with these solids I have to stamp them a couple times. I'll be honest, I know it's probably the brand and the cheapness of these, and they kind of beat up, even though I've primed them. And so I stamped these a couple times. I got a little blue on there, but that's alright. I know once I layer these and stuff, I can probably like cover that up with another flower or something. And here's kind of what I was thinking with these as well, with this set of cards, is I thought if I'm going to get out DSP, and I haven't done DSP for a while, then I want to get out some stamps that I have hardly used, or I've used but I haven't used them in a while, which is my close to my heart stuff, that because I started with those as my starter kit from this lady, and then I've obviously purchased like Gina K and all these other brands now that I'm using more often. But I thought, you know what? These are they're still usable, right? Like, I just got to use them more because there's still some fun stuff in there. All right, so now we're gonna spin these around, and when I flip this, I've already pre-aligned these, and now I can restamp these and spin it again. So now I'm getting multiples in here. So I'll ink up. I know these are my 2 yellows. Now it switches, so I know these are my 2 yellows, but whoops, I did that wrong. And so that needs to be orange here. Okay. Then I know this one here was my pink. And then the other pink now is going to be this one, so I'm going my darker accent of my pink, my party dress. And this one was my purple, so I'm going to purple that one up. And I know this one now is my purple, so I go my darker purple, my Flirty Fuchsia over here, like so. And then I've got blue left here and blue left here. Okay, now I already know I'm going to probably stamp these a couple times, and I might need to stamp those a couple times too. Well, at least I'm being consistent. I got blue on that one too. Probably just got these a little too close together. Putting a little pressure on that because I can't get right to that edge on that one. I'm going to restamp these ones one more time. Those ones aren't looking bad, so I'm just going to give them one little more tap of some extra color, just to get a little bit better coverage basically on those. And then my blue. Alright, and then we'll just do these ones one more time for my dark layers. Oops, I just did that wrong. That was my, should have been my orange. Let me wipe that. I'm just using alcohol because that'll dry quick on me. My pink should have been right there. And then this one should have been my orange. Like so. And give that one more little press in there. My poor Misty's just getting abused. I think I'm about ready for another Misty too. Alright, so there you have the, I'm going to actually give this just a little bit right on that edge. I've got too close to the edge, and so I got to get some pressure in there to get those little pieces. The rest of that I think is looking pretty good. This one I think I screwed up on too, so I might not, I'll redo it down here and see if I can get better coverage and use it for the card. So I'm going to restamp just this bottom piece now because I don't want to redo those. So I've got my orange, which is going to be these two. I've got my pink, which is going to be this one. My purple, right there. And my blue, the little baby in the corner. And then let's just give these a stamp. I'm going to probably do these twice just to get good coverage, get some pressure in that corner. It's actually not bad, so I'm going to give it just a tiny bit. Just to make sure I got the good coverage. It's almost there, so. And I'm not going to give it but just a little, I'm not putting much pressure, I don't need to really. Alright, this is my set I'm going to use. I could pull some from that too. So there's my layers of this generic kind of branded. I know some of these are better in other brands. Again, this was one of the very first sets I ever bought when I very first started, doing this about 5-6 years ago. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll clean that up here in a little bit. So I need to die cut these, but before I break to die cut those, I want to go over what I'm going to do here with my panel. Okay. So, oops, it looks like I smudged on that, so we'll go to the other side because I'll show you what I did. Wipe my hands off here. I want this angled because what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut 3/4 of it, not die cut the top, but that line of where I die cut and don't die cut, I want to layer, that's where I'm going to put these flowers. I'm going to put a cluster of flowers in that center, but I want stamped flowers overlaying both, because what I want here is that effect of we've seen where we die cut, we stamp the bottom layer, then we take I'll just use my card base, we stamp one layer, then we place another sheet of paper and stamp in that exact same spot, and then die cut that, so then we get that layered effect of the stamping. I want that kind of effect, but I'm not going to do the bottom because I'm putting DSP on the bottom, but I'm going to stamp over that line so I get a stamped image with my cluster of my die cuts in the middle. So I'm doing that technique of I got some layered stamping, I've got the layers of the die cut with the stamping, DSP with using the cover plate die cut that we don't use enough either. So what I did, and I'm just doing it on the other side because I got some smudgies down here. I first measured 1.5 and then 2.5. Okay, and now I'm just going to connect those lines. I'm just very light pencil mark. And I'm going to stamp over this with my close to my heart stamps that I'm using. So I'm getting out my old stuff. Stamp over this. Then I'm going to die cut this die cut up to that line and have this cut with the DSP and then not on the top. Okay, so I've already went through and put, I'm going to use this one and I'm going to layer over the cutesies on top. I'm using the larger version of that out of, oh, it's in here but it's going backwards. The larger version with that, and then I'm going to take this one and layer that. Okay, so I got these out. I'm going to use the similar colors because I want it matchy-matchy, right? But this has some green in it. So I want to get out some green. And let's see, what do I think I wanted? Yep, I'm going to do my minted. Okay, so I think I'm going to use minted for the bigger one since there's not a lot of green in this and I didn't use a lot of green here. So I use minted so I get a little bit more blast of green. So I'm going to use the big one here with minted, and then I'll just do the darker version of that with the cutesy things on top. Alright, I know I'm going to put my cluster in the middle, so I'm going to go off center so I have just a little bit of the bigger off center from my cluster that I'm going to have. Like so. Okay, I think that's all I want for the big stamp. So I'm going to clean that one off. I'm going to put the layer for this one, and then I'm going to stamp it in a little darker of that minted. Now you could do tone on tone. If I was doing the Misty, I would probably do tone on tone, because you know how you double stamp and triple stamp and it just deepens that tone of that same color. But I'm not. I'm using my blocks, and I know I'm not going to probably be able to get this in the same spot again. And I'm just digging here in my colors because I don't want anything too dark. That might work. In the park. We're going to go in the park. It's just slightly darker over here, you can see. Okay? Alright, and then I'm just going to put this over the top. And I'm just going to make my little bouquet going across here. Lining these up of where they should go. And I'm going to just, before I do that, I want to make sure I'm loaded up here really good before I stamp that down. Alright, make sure I got good contact and that it's soaking into the paper, so I don't have to worry about trying to stamp this twice and I get what I want. That's good. Okay. I'm done now with this big one. I'm not going to reuse this big one again, just for purpose of dimension and balance. Okay, so take that off. Now I'm going to get the little one out, and now I'm going to pull in my other colors. So I'm just going to use my light pink, because I'll layer the dark pink over it. And I think I'm just going to go down a little bit here. And then I might come back up over here. And I know I got to put a sentiment. I'm aiming for my sentiment up in this probably corner here. So I don't want to go too high in case I change my mind. Okay. Now, since I have the other block, I'll just pull out the cutesy part of that stamp, and I'll use the other block for now. Okay, so I'm using that one. I'm going to use my same layer, so I'm just going to pull that party dress, line that up with that stamp, layer that, and layer that. Okay, and the cool part about these ones, I'm not extremely concerned about having this line up, because if it's off kilter, that's okay, because these stamps are made to do that. They're made to not line up, they're made to line up, so I'm not too worried about that. Whoops, I'm going to keep that. Now I'm going to add one more in a different color of this one before I switch to the last one. So I think I'm going to do this one because it's in pink, and I like yellow and orange and pink together. I'm going to kind of stay with that series for this same one. So I'm going to do a yellow one right over here. And I'm going to do a yellow one right in here. Okay, my cutesy version with the orange on the yellow. Could do the pink on the yellow too to keep a little bit more pink in there, but I'm going to bring in some orange. Alright, and then let's line those up like so. And one more over here, like so, and clean off. I'm done with that color. Now I'm going to do one last color, and that's where I'm going to bring in the, I think I'm going to bring in the purple versus the blue, and then leave it at that. Because then I've got basically like three primaries, you know, 3 colors in there. So I'm going to pick up my light purple, and I'm going to throw one right in here, and we're going to go one right up in here, and I wonder if I should go here. We're going to go there. We're going to go right up in here, because I know I'm not going to probably bring my sentiment up into there. Okay, cutesy version of that with my flirty fuchsia. Line up. I'm going to go off kilter just a little bit because of the depth of these. So it's not lined up perfectly, and I want just to give it a little flare. There we go. I'm leaving room for my sentiment. I can die cut a good portion of this will get die cut, and I'll lay my little bouquet up there. I'm going to come down just a little bit actually, because I think that if it blends down, I think that's okay. So I'm going to give. Oh, I forgot one. Forgot one here. I'm going to bring in another purple and a yellow on this, so bring that down just a little bit more. And to do that, I'm going to get these other ones out actually and add that other design element in there. So I'm just using now a different die set from Close to My Heart and doing the same exact thing, and I'm going to use a purple and a yellow. Or excuse me, pink and a yellow. So yellow, I'm going to go yellow right in here. And then I'm going to bring my pink. Right in there. Okay, cutesy version, we'll switch out. And yellow, so I had orange on the yellow right here. Line those up as good as you can. If it's off, it's off. Yep. And then one more for that pink. Get that dark party dress on there. Dark party dress right there. All right. Oh, that looks good. I just looked up at the camera. That looks good from camera view. Okay. We will die cut this and do the halvesy die cut on here. And die cut the flowers out, and we can start assembling. I may or may not add some leaves into this once I get these die cut. And I'm just going to die cut off camera so that you don't have to sit here and watch me try to die cut. I think we all know how to do that. So I will be back after I die cut this, die cut my flowers out, and I may add some leaves in there, and I'll bring those back too. Okay? Okay. We are back. We stamped. I went through and die cut, so I laid this on. Then when I laid this in my Big Shot, I lined up the edge of my cutting plates to my line that I had created, and then I just ran this through the Big Shot, so it cut from basically here on. That was sandwiched between the two cutting plates. Then I just had to take an X-Acto knife and get some of these lines that just obviously didn't cut all the way through because they weren't underneath the plate, so I just cut those out. Then I knocked out this stuff, and I wanted to show you, these are my little knockouts, right? How cute would these be to save, to throw on a card? Almost do the same thing, and then I would almost take these and then put these around it. And then I could color some solid ones too, if I wanted to. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. I know if you watched my stuff, you know I'm into scraps and using everything that I can. So let's assemble. So I'm going to put this onto my DSP. Then I'll trim that down just a little bit. Then I'll layer my flowers up. And I already stamped my sentiment. I just put it on a stamping block because I have everything in my MISTI that I want to make more of these cards with the layering, so I just left it. I actually ended up using the thank you out of this Close to My Heart set Friendship Blessings because it just, the scripty was perfect. And I think the set that I'm going to make, I'm going to use the rest of these on this set actually because it just worked out nice and it matched with the flowers, so I thought that would work out perfect. So let's layer this stuff up and finish out our card. I will say, like, just assembling this, now I'm going to have to be honest, I recorded this video the night before, and I just wasn't happy with the result. I didn't pick the best DSP paper, and it was close to the concept I wanted to do, but it just was like I can't put that video out. So I'm re-recording this again, and doing another one. But I will say, once you get the stamping done and it's a pretty easy card, actually, and easy to mass produce. Once you just get all your supplies laid out, like I kind of did all my supplies, laid it out. It's actually pretty easy to do, and I personally am happy with the result. My concept was the half cutting of the cover plate effect, DSP that I don't use very often. Then I was going for, you could see where I overstamped, and then on the other ones we would have stamped the underpiece of this in the exact same spots in the Misty, so it had that layering of, you could see in the valleys the same stamp that was up on the humps kind of thing. And I was going for that concept, but just doing it on the top die plate with my nice blendy DSP matchy paper underneath. And then the other concept was then these layering dies that I'm just addicted to right now. So that's where I came up with this kind of concept, is combining. And then as I was kind of thinking about like which sets do I want to use, I just bought all these new Alta new ones I've done some videos on already, and I'll be honest, I was kind of like, this is another chance, since I'm doing this combination of different things, then let me just get out some old stuff that I don't use very often, And I know close to my heart, bless their hearts, they're not around anymore, but still a good chance to use some of their stuff, It's still usable, and it still makes great cards. So I just, that's where I kind of came up with this. All right, I cut I pre-cut this, not realizing that my die plate cover was slightly smaller than the average. So I'm just adjusting my black matte layer. All right, here we go. I stamped out some greenery to add in here since I had no leaves. I'm not sure if it's gonna be too much or not. So we'll lay my flowers in here first. I decided there's 5 flowers that I stamped. Where's my 5th? There's 5 of these. I decided I'm just going to go with 3 because I think there's already too much color and too much stuff going on. I'll be honest, I could leave it exactly like this. I really truly could. I think this is cute, and it's perfect the way it is. I just want to add a little bump on there with some layers and a little trio on top. So I think on the rest of the cards I'm going to make, I actually just might make the set just like this and leave it rather than adding these on here. And you know what? Feel free to add the comments that if you're like, no, I think you added it, looks great, or should have left it as is. I'm just going to make that call of like, I want the layers and the texture, so I'm going to add it on there. I know hindsight, I might just go, I should have just left it, but I'm going for it. But I think this would make a great set just as is. So, all right. So that just kind of tells you, how I came up with this little idea and concept and layout. It's just a combination of a couple different techniques, really. All right, I actually layered all these up, and I want my prominent one, I think, to be yellow. And I'm gonna go off just the center a little bit. I think now that I think about it, like so. And I think I'm gonna change my mind. I don't want this on dimensionals if I can get them off. The adhesive on these is strong. I'm gonna scrape this off because I think I want this flat, and I'll pop up the little one like so, and I think I'm gonna go like so. Yep. Alright, let's pop this one in there. And then this one's going to go flat. Now before I glue this one down, because I might need to do the leaves around it, I know I'm going to want one in here. Like so. Probably do one like so. And I don't think I need 3. If I go 3, it's going to cover here. That might be, well, that'll work, I think, actually with 3. Yep, just like that. So I'm going to sneak this out, glue these little puppies down first. Wrap that in there because that'll be underneath. This will get wrapped around the little one. Like so. And then this one flat to the surface. Like so. All right. Let's put this on a base. A little branding on the back. Put this down on the base. And we have ourselves a triple combo technique textured card. Like that. Bada bing. Little crooked, isn't it? Come on. There's my card, y'all. I love it. It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot, but the colors are good. I like it. I almost liked it, I think, better without that. And I maybe could have stamped the greenery in there, and it would have been just as great. So that is my card. My little wiper here. Take a look. What do we think? Put it over here. I gotta get it to focus. There we go. All right, there it is. Looking down at my camera. So there's my card. There's my triple technique card. I gotta glue that one little leaf down there. So thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. Thank you for kind of watching my ideas and my concepts and what I'm coming up with. And hope you like it. And until next time, I'll see you then.